Friday. It's the weekend almost. There you go. DJ Wonder Chrissy back at it again. And it's 8 o'clock here in Chi-Town. 35 degrees, sun trying to come out. And I'm here for another episode of Migrant Mayhem. And had a nice wet willy there at the end, right? You like those wet willies? My gosh, those are satisfying. All right, so we're gonna play a couple videos, some updates, what's going on around here. I don't know if you guys got caught by the AT&T outage. I guess Chicago was hit. I'm not a AT&T customer. I'm a Verizon guy, but there seems to be a lot of crap going on in Chicago, to say the least. Let's get into some of this breaking news. Breaking news, folks. Yep, only here you're gonna get the breaking news. So let's let me set up our first video for today. Let's get into that AT&T issue that was nationwide, and they're kind of mum on what the problem was. So let me get this set up for you, and let's get ready to roll, rock and roll. Let's get the window going here. There we go, AT&T. So I hopefully you guys weren't impacted by this. They said even let me get centered here. We're out of center here. It bugs the crap out of me. All right. So let's play this, and you'll get an update on what was going on with AT&T.
Restored its wireless service following a widespread outage across the country. Customers spent most of the morning unable to place calls, text, or even access the internet.
Kennedy Hayes is following this developing story for us. Kennedy, what's the latest?
Terrence and Sylvia, it hit AT&T users across the country. Now, Verizon and T-Mobile say their networks were not affected, though some of their customers had issues calling or texting AT&T phones. Now, no word yet on what caused this, but a defense official tells us that they have
no total transparency. It should be interesting to see how long it takes for them to come out with what really happened. I'm going to play you a video after this where our Ventra was having some problems a couple of weeks ago. They finally came out with what happened there. But, yeah, a lot of lack of transparency seems to be the theme these days for some reason.
No indication this was a cyber attack. Now, in the most recent statement from AT&T, a spokesperson says, quote, "We have restored wireless service to all of our affected customers. We sincerely apologize to them. Keeping our customers connected remains our top priority, and we are taking steps to ensure our customers do not experience this again in the future." And according to outage tracker Down Detector, customers in at least 9 major cities reported AT&T outages.
Nationwide outage there for AT&T. Look at that. All the major cities. Seems kind of fishy.
This morning, including Los Angeles, Dallas, Chicago, Atlanta, and Miami. The problem started popping up around 3:30 ET, and I spoke to a cybersecurity expert about how tech companies investigate these issues.
There's so many things that can cause a problem like this, whether it's a hardware issue or, something with, changing software or making some kind of update. When you think of something as critical to daily life and life safety as the cellular networks and systems, you can certainly be sure that people are working very hard on this.
Down Detector says at the height of the outages around 11 a.m., there were around 74,000 outages, including in Chicago. Most phone users had issues with texting and calling on their mobile phones, but some also had trouble with their home phones and internet. Now, even if your cell phone network goes down, there is a Wi-Fi calling feature that you can find in your settings. In Denver, Kennedy Hayes, Fox 32 Chicago.
Have you seen this viral fat-burning brownie drink?
So there's that. Let me get this Metro one up here. They finally came clean on what happened with the Metro. which also happened at the same time as the oil refinery, which we still haven't heard what happened in Whiting, Indiana, which has caused our gas to spike up to $3.50 a gallon now. Went up like 50 cents in a matter of a week. But anyway, it looks like the vendor at Ventra has fallen on the sword and came out and addressed the Metro board and said that they were to blame. So let's listen to that.
More today about the issues with the Ventra app that occurred earlier this month. The app's creators are now saying they accept full responsibility for this. Ventra was designed by a company called Cubic. It crashed the same day that Metro...
which they publicized before it went live that this company had done it for other transportation companies across the world and was, up on all this stuff and was part of their core business. Didn't seem to help.
Rolled out new fares and zoning. The issues continued for days. Cubic executives spoke before the Metro board.
Days as translated at least a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks.
This week saying they had been preparing for the launch since April of last year, but failed to uncover...
Not preparing very well. Let's retrace that one. They've been preparing since last April. They're poor preparers.
Last year, but failed to uncover the load structure issue.
Let's play that one more time.
They had been preparing for the launch since April of last year.
April!
Failed to uncover the load structure issue.
The change to the app centered around the new fare structure, which was incredibly complex. What we realized was that our load testing was not structured in a way to which we may have uncovered the issue.
Yeah, I mean, the first failure of this magnitude is shame on you. If it happens again, shame on us.
Hanover Park Mayor and Metro Director Rod Craig is suggesting the Metro Board consider hiring another vendor. Cubic says it has improved the app since the February 1st crash and has assigned a designated task force to monitor that app during peak times.
So there you go. We finally get some answers on that at least, or at least someone that wanted to take the blame. I'll let you decide what you think happened there. So now let's go on to our buddy J.B. Pritzker, who has decided to raise taxes. But here's his thoughts on the migrants in Chicago. So let's hear it's hard to believe that what this guy's saying is he's an American. He's certainly not an American, folks. So let me cue this up, and we'll get an update on how JB feels about the migrants and the ones specifically in Illinois.
Expressing his case during today's State of the State address that caring for asylum seekers is a moral imperative, while some Republicans argue taxpayers shouldn't be asked to dig any deeper to support non-residents.
I will not join the chorus of people in this country or in this chamber.
And also we learned that in total, state of Illinois probably spent $2 billion between the state, the city, and the county of Cook. $2 billion to date dealing with migrants.
Who eagerly looked to slam shut an immigration door that was once open to our ancestors.
Republican lawmakers unmoved by an emotional plea from Governor J.B. Pritzker, who was part of his record $52.7 billion budget proposal, pledged to spend nearly $182 million on newly arrived asylum seekers.
I was very disappointed. The governor wanted to make a political speech, and he wanted to invest a lot of money in people that are not citizens of our country, and have taxpayers that are residents in such...
Pritzker again blaming Texas Governor Greg Abbott for politicizing the immigration issue, busing more than 35,000 asylum seekers to Illinois over the past 18 months.
Abbott willfully planned the arrival of these individuals in locations and at times that would engender the maximum chaos for the city of Chicago.
Pritzker's call to end Illinois' statewide 1%.
So here's where the Democrat, I don't know if you guys realize, the Democrats like to say, look at the bright object over here while they're doing nasty stuff over here. And that's what this is all about. He wants to reduce the 1% sales tax on groceries while at the same time he's raising taxes on businesses by $800 million. So he's doing the bait and switch there. That's a typical way that the Democrats like to run government.
Grocery tax was well received across the aisle, but doesn't go far enough for some Republicans.
I didn't hear one mention of property tax relief, which is a huge burden to Illinois families. I didn't hear one mention about helping families afford gasoline, sales tax on gasoline.
Pritzker plans to spend $50 million on the growing homeless crisis and another $350 million on education. He'll pay for it in part thanks to $800 million in revenue, largely from new taxes on businesses.
Since Governor Pritzker came into office, we've increased state spending by 30%. There's not a family in my district's budget's gone up 30% since he took office.
So there you go. As I keep telling you guys, Chicago and Illinois doesn't have a revenue problem. They have a spending problem. They just like to spend. That's what Illinois is all about. Very rarely do you hear them talk about cutting expenses and trying to make do with less. You'll never hear that from our politicians, to say the least. So you heard, yeah, we got 35,000 immigrants here in Chicago. The end of March, they got another 30 days or 4 weeks before they are thrown out into the streets. You're probably gonna, if you need a tent for camping this summer, you better purchase one now, because the migrants are gonna clear out Amazon's stock of tents, I'm sure. I bet you there's an Amazon truck at every one of those 28 shelters on a daily basis delivering tents for the next couple of weeks. Yeah, I'm sure there is. So, not a lot of news about the migrants in the news. We had one yesterday where there was four illegals that robbed a guy over the weekend and strangled him unconscious on the CTA red line, I believe, and stole all of his stuff. Luckily they caught these four illegals, but we're not seeing much news in Chicago reporting on that. It's coming at a national level for some reason. So it's crazy, folks. I haven't found much on Denver, and New York City is, they're trying to move ahead with their credit card pilot program and giving the migrants Visa debit cards so they can buy their own food and family supplies, and I'm sure that will have some fraud and abuse associated with that. Keeps getting worse, folks. As we head towards spring here, it's just getting worse. You can expect to see the migrants in your hometown, in your neighborhood, knocking on your door, asking you for free stuff. That's what it's all about. Not only are you going to see your taxes sucked up for this, you're going to see them knocking on your door wanting more. So, yeah, we got Tom Johnson here in Abbottland. How is it down south, Tommy Johnston? I don't know how Texas can cope. They've been dealing with this for several years. I don't know if the migrants normally migrate out of the state of Texas in a highly efficient way, or do they just kind of linger down there for years? It's gotta be. We don't get much visibility into what's going. We see the border. We see them coming across the border. We see them, flying out of the state of Texas. We see them being bussed out of the state of Texas. But rarely do we see anyone going into, San Antonio, Houston, Dallas, reporting on what is going on with the migrants. I hear, like, if you want somebody to do some work for you, you just show up in the morning at Home Depot, and there's always a group of, let's say, cheaply priced labor willing to work for you in Dallas. I've heard that. How are the migrants, Tommy? What's it like living in Dallas or Abbottland? Where are you in Abbottland? Are you in Dallas? Are you further south? How are the migrants down there? Have they taken over your towns? Have they taken over your grocery stores? And how is the crime? Or is the crime running rampant down there? We're starting to see Actually, Donald Trump said that you're going to see a new crime category come out called migrant crime. They're going to start tracking migrant crime like we've seen in New York City and Chicago's starting to see. Every crime story we see, it's usually prefaced with either it's a migrant crime or just normal mass crime. We don't have any gang crime anymore in Chicago. It's called mass crime or mass pew-pewing. Temple, where is Temple? I've never heard of Temple. He says they all go north, to Chicago and New York. Well, we've only got 35,000. I think they got 170,000 in New York City. There's supposedly been 8 million that came across the border, which, if you've done real math at that, that's only 200,000 out of 8 million. Where did the rest of them go? Which I don't hear anyone in the media try to reconcile those numbers, but So check out some places you can check out if you're interested in finding more about Migrant is Adam Klepp. He's got some pretty good, let me show you his channel. Adam's out of Tucson, I believe. So let's see if I can find Adam Klepp. Where did Adam go? Here's Adam's channel right here. He's got lots of videos about the southern border. He did come through Chicago a few weeks back. Another one is JLR Investigates. This guy, he's been spending lots of time at the border. He's got tons of videos out there if you want to check out his channel. It's raw footage. He's just showing you, he's showing you the migrants coming across the border. He's showing you where they're dumping their stuff. He's showing you the hospitals that are having problems. Showing you a little bit of everything. So if you want to spend time going through, he's got loads and loads of film. He's probably spent a month on the road. He's out of Florida, but he was in Texas, and then now he's in Arizona and California. He's all over. So Tom Johnson said he's between Waco and Austin. So you're not overrun, Tommy. Not overrun by the illegals, or you just got sensitized to them. You're probably used to seeing them at this point. The other thing I noticed, very few of them speak English, but if you're living in Texas, you probably pick up a little bit of Spanish along the way, so you're probably not upset by the fact that they can't speak English as I am. I kind of pisses me off when people come to this country and they can't speak the language. So let's see where we're at. I think we're probably done for today. We did our update. We're at 20 some minutes. I'm going to end for now. Check out our channel. I am DJ Wonder Chrissy. This is Migrant Mayhem. We do daily migrant videos. I'm part of the channel called Land Cruiser Midwest. Check out, we just did a video yesterday on the Fed interest rate and where we think that is going come March 19th and 20th. That's the next Fed meeting. So if you do any type of investing or savings, check out that video and you'll get an update on where I think the Fed's going the next couple of months. And what the good going CD rates are right now with Charles Schwab. And I highly recommend Charles Schwab as an investment company. And people need to save more, folks. We need to save. I know inflation is running rampant, but you got to save. If you don't save, it's going to be bad news come when everything comes crashing down. We are coming to a financial crash. I firmly believe we got a financial crash coming in the next couple of years, if not sooner, and it's going to be 2008 and 9 all over again, if not as bad as 1929 in the Great Depression. So watch some of those videos and like, share, and subscribe, folks. Comment down below if there's anything you want me to cover in the near future. Thank you for joining us today. Over and out, DJ Wonder.